Good morning, everybody. This is Jimmy Guerrero from Capuccino Financiero, World Business Society, your financial coach. I spent 20 years in banking with the big boys, Chase, Wells Fargo investments, insurance, business loans, mortgages, and many more. And finally, I decided after I retired to bring in plain English the mysteries of money management and coaching in plain English and in plain Spanish, so the average consumer can understand how to manage their money successfully, so they can realize their dreams come true. I want to take a minute to thank you, Xavi Herrera, Benjamin Celestino, the founders of WBS, World Business Society. We are a peer-to-peer group designed to have the small business owners, the professionals, the entrepreneurial people, the startups, meet through the magic of technology. There's no passports, no vaccines. It's just human beings connecting with human beings and sharing the tips that help them become successful in their startups, their small businesses, in their dream jobs. And we also have consumer tips where we're going to help you make smart decisions that properly apply. I want to protect your money, help it grow, and you're going to be a successful consumer and a successful money manager yourself. This morning, I have Jessica, a successful insurance broker visiting Capuccino Financiero. Good morning, Jessica. How are you doing? Thank you for getting up so early in Las Vegas this morning to be in our program.
Good morning, Jimmy. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. You know, getting up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday in Las Vegas is amazing because, as we all know, we are 24/7, the city of the 24/7 casino. So we want to thank you for the bottom of our heart to take this morning to be with us. But the reason you're with us is because you're passionate about what you do. So this morning, tell us a little bit about yourself, Jessica.
Well, I came to Vegas when I was about 14 years old, and I consider this my home state. I love it. And I just love the fact that I've been given such a great opportunity to do what I do. And I just want to show and share that with everyone today.
Fantastic. Now, you're the owner and insurance broker of Family Comes First. La familia viene primero. And tell me this, Jessica, why did you get involved in the life insurance industry? One of the toughest industries somebody can get in.
Yes, one of the reasons why back in my 20s, I was going to become a life insurance broker, but I was doing so many different things as a young person. We know that we want to do different things to find ourselves. And my father said to me, you know what, honey, I know that's one of your passions, but you'll have a calling. And unfortunately, the calling was when I lost him this year. And one of the things that I wanted, I always tell myself, I regret not doing it back in my 20s because I would have advised my intimate family and what they should have done. And so we had a 30-year term on him, and it expired 5 years ago. Well, he passed away this year, and it didn't help us. So now that is my purpose and my why. So I can sit down with families, our everyday families, to explain to them how important it is to have something in place for their loved ones, even if it's from 50,000, 30,000, to have that peace of mind. So that is why I got involved in this industry. And I put my passion, because even though we're completely strangers, someone who's hearing me today, we will share the same pain one day, the pain and fear. So as you hear me today, it's something that I take it to the heart. I don't know you, but I want to advise you and help you just plan for those uncertainties.
Well, Jessica, the reason I mentioned to you that the insurance business is one of the toughest ones someone can get in is because when you were in another galaxy back in 1987, I started my insurance career with American National Insurance. At that time, it was a debit business. I had a book of business of 500 families, and the highest premium was $20, $25 a
Yeah.
month. 100,000 was a big shock. I mean, you really had to be a rich person to have $100,000 policy back then. The word term nobody knew. A.L. Williams, which is now Primerica, started a new revolution a few years later. But the only reason people believe me in life insurance because I was like the milkman. I went to their front door to collect the premium, write in a little book, and then offer additional insurance if they need it. And you can imagine I felt like the UPS driver, not like an insurance man back in those days. But that was the only reason they believed me because they saw me every month knock on the door of the insured.
Wow.
And my goodness, I loved it because I didn't pay for quinceañeras, weddings, graduations. I was like an extension of their family. So those were the three most wonderful years in the insurance business. I didn't know what the ordinary business was. Ordinary meaning that they actually mailed their payments. That was like, a holy grail, Oh my goodness. If back in those days, if you worked for New York Life, Prudential, you were the expert.
Yeah.
But that's why I say it was one of the toughest professions I had because before I became a banker, lender, and so forth in my professional career. So the next question I have for you, Jessica, is that I know you offer several different services to families, but specifically, there could be 1,000 or more. What services do you focus on? What services are the ones that you feel are the most useful for your potential customers or your customer base?
Well, one of the things I focus is our children, college tuition. I think it's very important to set up their future. And so I educate each family how we can set that up. Final expenses, mortgage protection, all, it's customized to each family. So that's one of my biggest funds that I focus on. And we, like you said, we discuss the difference between a term and an IUL. An IUL is an index universal policy, which is connected to the SP 500, which is the biggest 500 companies in the United States. So as you know, Apple, all of these are in this market, and it changes obviously dramatically throughout the times. But I educate them on how they can invest on the children's college education, their final expenses, and mortgage protection, and their retirement plan, because it's never too late, depending on my client and the age and if they have any medical conditions or concerns. We go through it in detail to make sure that they don't get declined, because every time you get declined, then there's a red flag in your profile. But that's one of the things that I focus on.
Now, is this only for the rich, or is this available for all consumers?
You know what? I'm so glad you're asking me that, because everybody thinks, like you said, they think it's expensive, but it's how it's approached to you. What is it that you're looking for? What is the purpose? Why is it that you're looking for this policy? So if you come to me and tell me, well, I want a $500 policy, well, guess what? Of course, let's do it. But why do you want that 500,000? Next question is, can we afford it? Because yes, a term is much cheaper, but we know it expires at a certain period of time, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It happened in my family. So let's go into that IUL, Index Universal Policy. Then we look it down. It's like, you know what? I do want a 500 because I want to protect my family. So let's talk about, can we afford it? Well, I can't. So let's go to where you can afford it. So we start looking at 400, 300, 200, 100,000. And sometimes it comes down to getting 50,000 and then setting up their children on their own policy. And I teach them how much they put into their account, how much we can put into their account. So at the end of the day, instead of getting that 500,000, we're making sure that each individual in their family is protected. And it's going to be less than what a $500,000 is going to be. So anybody can afford it. It's how we advise you, how we can get you to understand that you don't need a big policy. You're not trying to leave your family rich. What we're trying to do is have a peace of mind and be prepared for those uncertainties. So it's very
You,
affordable.
I'm glad that you have great news for our viewers that this morning that it's not only for the rich,
Oh
anybody
no.
can afford it. You know, one of the things that's amazing, Jessica, uh, in the greatest and richest country in the world, people are going to make, especially the millennials, they're going to make $1, $2, or $3 million in the 40 or 45 productive years. Uh, but the problem is that when they reach 65, they retire with $400.
I know.
You know, I spent 20 years with the big boys as a banker, and he was amazed. If they make 5,000 a month, they would spend 10,000 because they thought they would forever make those 10,000 a month. And we all know, if anything, these difficult times we're living on, the virus and so forth have taught us that even the huge boys, corporations can have the ups and downs or even disappear. So it's not how much you make, it's how you manage that's going to help
Yes.
you be the millionaire that you want, you know. So tell me this, Jessica, what are your goals as a life insurance broker?
Well, my goal is obviously to be a successful one. And by that, I mean advise my everyday family. And I know that I always bring that up almost in every conversation that I will have with you because it's so important for me to educate our families, for them to understand that it's so affordable and it's so simple. It's just about understanding what works for your family. And my goal is for that family for one day, you know, when I rest in peace and my legacy that I want to leave behind, to say that agent Mesley, she really said that. And I'm very passionate about it because it's like I went through it, you know, and I wish I would have had somebody sit down with me about my father and what I struggled to raise that money to make things, to make him rest in peace, an honorable man that deserved it. But they focus on helping everybody else instead of themselves. So if I can help a family make a difference, as little as this little life policy, to put him a peace of mind, that's my goal. To advise and to make him say, I got this and we can do it. So if you have any questions on anything, you know, even if you have medical conditions, we can look who is the right fit for you. Your budget, I am here. And remember, anybody's listening, it's not how much your face amount, which means your life policy amount. It's not the amount that you're trying to get, it's what you can afford and what is it that is reasonable for you to be realistic.
Now, for our audience, they're not in the insurance business, obviously, like you and I. What's the difference between an insurance broker and an insurance agent? And why did you decide to become a broker instead of an insurance agent for some of the established companies?
Well, you know, one of the reasons why, because I want to give options to my clients. So I work with Mutual Omaha, Forsters, FNG, National Life Group, Columbus Life, and Americo, which is a government insurance company, which we help. Those are very, very, very sick that cannot get the Mutual Omaha, which you have to be very, very healthy, even though they take some medical conditions like Crohn's disease and all that, that it's, you know, very common nowadays. So, I mean, so I have a variety of carriers because I want to give options. I want to find the right unique plan for each family and how affordable it is. Because at the end of the day, it's not how much money. Yes, it does, because obviously we're looking at the index universal. How much money we can grow in the next 15 years, 30 years, retirement, if something was to happen. You know, we have the living benefits that come with it. So that means if you have terminal, chronic, any of those, if medical and it's approved, we give you a percentage of your face amount that you have on your policy. So it's just all the benefits that come in one. So for me to become a broker, to give you options, that's the reason I chose to become a broker.
And I'm sure you had to pass the state exam. And is there a difference between the producer license and the broker license?
Well, the producer license, well, basically is the national producer number. That means I can be licensed in every single state. Like I'm licensed in California, I'm licensed in Montana, I'm licensed in Washington. And of course, I can be licensed in any state. So if anybody, I live in Texas, well, Texas, here I come. So I can be, so that is your national producer. Your brokerage, you have a license number for your state. So every state you'll have a license, and you don't have to pass a license on each state. It's just called a non-residence license.
Right.
But if you're looking for a career, now that we're on the subject, it is hard work. But at the end of the day, like my father used to tell me, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. So my passion, what I have and what I do, I think that it wasn't work. It was work, but it wasn't work because I was looking for that beginning, that hope that we always look for every single day.
Right. Now, here's this question that sometimes when I was in the industry, some of the really, really smart people, that not only look at one product or one basket, but they look at the whole basket of fruits. The reason I like to speak in plain English, number one, I flunk English in my country, in Ecuador. And yet I went to get a college degree, God bless my parents, my stepdad, 23 years in the service, never complained a day in her life. My mom, a hard worker and determined individual that took no for an answer, working hard and getting you your dreams of your life come true through hard work, determination, discipline, and a lot of faith in the creator. So sometimes people will tell me, well, Jimmy, and they will just think about one thing instead of the other options. They will say, if I put money in the stock market in 10, 20 years, actually in 3 years, I could double my money. What would I put in an insurance policy with their expenses, their this, their that? And then they're just looking narrowly. They're looking just at the return on their money, but they're not looking at the things such as taxes and so forth. So I guess I like to explain in plain English because of my personal experience of I didn't know English when I came to the USA. So in plain terms, can you tell us why you believe in the index product and what is it that makes you so excited about a particular product instead of the stock market?
Well, you know what? Actually, the IUL, the Index Universal, is connected with the SP 500. So we are connected to the market, and that's the beauty of it. But one of the things about an IUL, so we do have a gap of 11%. So if the stock market's at 15%, we don't get the 15%, we get the 11%. But if the market is a negative, guess what? Our money doesn't change. We don't lose money at all. So we stay where we're at. So in other investments, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm at 25,000. Guess what? The market drops. Guess what happens to your money? It starts declining. With an IUL, it doesn't. Your money is safe, it's protected. And one of the biggest things is we do advise you not to touch money for 15 years because the goal of that IUL is, of course, has your face amount, your death benefit. It has anything was to happen to you while you're living, you have your living benefits. And the third, your retirement plan. So you're looking at, let's say, when I'm 65 years old and I have enough cash value in that account and I need cash for whatever reason, my car broke down. Well, guess what I'll have to do? Say, Columbus Life, I see that I have $100,000 in my account, in my IUL. I need for you to send me $5,000. No questions asked. That check is written to me, tax exempt, no penalties. So that's one of the reasons I love the IUL product. And yes, it's a little expensive, but that's when it comes down to how much is your policy amount that you want. It just in less terms they're using the face amount, but we're going to educate our viewers. Your face amount is your policy amount. So we just look at that, just narrowing down what fits you. It's what's important at the end of the day. So that's the reason I love the IUL product. Yeah.
Okay, and as you know, there's a product for every age. There's a product for every income. There's a product for each specific individual needs. There's a segment of the population that maybe they already work hard, they're retired, and they don't want to take the risk. Like, I know you mentioned risk in the stock market, let's say. And for our audience, can you please tell us what is a fixed annuity? And if you do fixed annuities, are there any companies that you're affiliated with to do fixed annuities? Or can you explain to us in plain English, what is a fixed annuity?
Well, a fixed annuity is basically you have a fixed rate that doesn't change throughout your whole term. It stays where it's at. So if you sign up at this rate, it stays at that rate. And annuities basically is if you have a 401k, if you don't have an IRA, we do a rollover. And annuity is obviously a retirement investment as well. So it's like a supplement of another retirement that you may have. So it's just basically rollovers. Now, do I focus on annuities? I do not, but I definitely can educate you and say, you know what, Jessica, I do have a 401k. I left my job. I want to do a rollover. So that's when an annuity comes, and actually it helps you with your retirement. It's such a great product. And if people do have questions, they want to do it, I'm more than happy to assist them on that. But I don't focus on annuities a lot. I focus where my passion is at on that. And every day that we need that advice on to be prepared. Life is short. Life is crazy. It'll throw punches at you without you even knowing, and I experienced it. You experienced it on my personal basis. I almost lost my life hugging my little man before I left. And 30 minutes later, the worst happened. But that's the reason I focus what I do. I really don't focus in annuities, but people have questions. We have the best team. I'm so blessed to have such a great team behind me, for my directors, my VPs. So we're here to assist in anything they need.
Jessica, what would you say to a family that tells you, Jessica, I see that you offer me a product that gives me protection in case, Lord forbid, I'm no longer there. There's another virus. Tomorrow I'm gone. And what I'm going to do with my kids' education, what I'm going to do with protecting the family's assets, such as the home, the cars, who's going to pay off the mortgage if I'm no longer here. My kids are still in school. I still see the need for a protection, because they still need to live somewhere. They still need transportation. They still need to eat. They still need to get educated. And I see that you have that product for me. In addition, you tell me that there's gonna be a growth opportunity for my premiums to be put in a basket that someday I can have access to it and not pay taxes like I would if I had in the stock market, especially if I have it in a qualified plan such as a 401k retirement plan. If I'm less than 59 and a half, I'm going to pay a 10% penalty. And I'm not going to get deep into it because my purpose is not to go into the days when I was a banker, I did investments, but they appreciate the fact that they could have some cash value that they could have access without having to pay taxes or be considered earned income. And so I will stop at that, because this is not a seminar in investment or insurance, but they say, Jessica, I appreciate you tell me that you can give me a product that's going to protect my estate, that's going to protect my assets, my mortgage. It's going to ensure that my kids have the ability to go to college if they want. They're still going to have a roof over their head. And if I need to borrow in an emergency, I can have access to it. But my goodness, that's going to cost megabucks. What do you tell to those people, Jessica?
Well, when you look to get your policy, we want to ask, it's the why. Like you said, protect my family, protect the mortgage, the rent. So when we offer you a mortgage protection plan, we say, okay, how much do you owe in your home? They're like $250,000. So if something was to happen to your family, that $250,000, either you can use it towards your mortgage, obviously the final expenses, and whatever you need to survive, to continue to have because, when we lose someone, we left with such a burden. And don't forget the debt that we have to follow as a husband or wife or beloved one that we needed, but so I mean, I just let him know that have your why you need it, and like you said, the college education, um, the mortgage protection, your final expenses, and make sure there's food on the table. So all that little, it helps. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think that we're looking for that peace of mind. I was going to bring it back to that because a lot of people say, well, I want a $300,000 because what's $50,000 going to do to me? For me, nothing. Well, guess what? 50,000 goes a long ways when your loved ones need you the most because they can't speak for themselves anymore. So this is when we wake up and turn that flashlight and say, you know what? Let's talk. Because this is not about being right or wrong. I don't think that the viewers are saying, oh, I know what she means. But you know what? I'm good. I'm good for right now. I'm 20 years old. I'm 30. I'm 40. And when we get to our 50s and 60s, we start thinking a little bit more. I wish I would have done it. Unfortunately, life is very unknown. And we all know that. We all experienced through the pandemic. Even before the pandemic, life is so short. Somebody was telling me yesterday in Nevada, 100 people die a month, and that number hurts. And there's nothing we can do about that, but we can change the way we think and to get ourselves, ready for it.
Jessica, you just mentioned something that's real to life. I remember about 4 months ago, I came from work and my brother, he said, Jimmy, I can breathe. And, we were used to have him deal with health issues, a variety, a whole basket of health issues, a whole box of health issues. And we got used to take him to the emergency, get him a shot, modern life. We live in the greatest country of medicine and medical care and so forth. So they kept him alive, with all those medicines. So we didn't really panic, and we continue with that kind of lifestyle. And little did I know that he would survive the COVID, and then he would survive a tracheostomy or the tube on your throat. And then little did I know that on his birthday, he was going to go to a better world. The problem with that situation that we had to face just 4 months ago was that he didn't have any life insurance. So can you imagine all the hard work that as a family or our retirement savings or our cash flow or our savings in the bank, everybody had to pitch in because we didn't have time to go to a GoFund account on Facebook. And even if there were some nice souls that would do that, I don't think they would cough up $20,000 for his burial. So for those people that think that the Iron Man, Superman, Aquaman, and all of the above, we don't know the surprises like the ones we're living now. So for those of you that are millennials and then they say, well, someday I'll do it, or I'll have my life insurance at work. Tell me that, Jessica, why is it a good idea not only to have the life insurance at work, but what happens to the life insurance when they get fired, they quit, or they get another job? What happens to the life insurance at work?
Well, we do offer group policies to employers. We do that. And as we all know, group insurance is much cheaper. But at the same time, once they leave, they can convert that to individual. And of course, as you will know, it's going to go up. So what I always advise individuals, because employers don't offer, the average, and I'm not speaking for all employers, but the average what I've met from and what I've heard and everything, they don't give you no more than 15,000. It's 15,000 is a lot of money, but at the same time, we look at funeral expenses. You're looking between 20,000 to 30,000. Now, depending how you want your loved one to be just rest in peace, we're looking at 30,000. If you wanted, the average is about 20,000. So it doesn't even cover it. And $5,000 is a lot of money. So we look at that. So when I talk to employers, they always say, you know, I want to offer this. And I say, wonderful, let's do it. But then even themselves, they say to me, let my employers understand that if they were to leave my here, it's done and they have to convert and it's more. So if they're going to stay with the employer and they want to get one on the side just for protection, and it's affordable, we always look at the dollar amount, always. So if I work to get in 50,000 and they want to get a 50,000, we know that they're there for 10 years and they leave. My goodness, I'm glad I got that 10 years ago, because guess what happens to your premium? It goes up dramatically. So
let me translate this to you. Like I told you, I flunked English in Ecuador, and yet I went on to get a college degree in North Carolina. Basically, for my audience, in plain English, what Jessica is talking about. So let's say that you pay $15 to $30 a month for a $50,000 policy on a group insurance program at work. You quit, you get fired, whatever the case may be. Yes, you can convert it to an individual policy, but maybe that $15, $30 might double to $60 a month or more, depending on your age. And then what if that extra 30 is going for other things? Retirement fund, college education, maybe you want to buy a home someday, get another car, maybe you need emergency money, and so forth and so forth. So there you go. Or maybe that would be between going to a store to XYZ coffee shop. Oops, I didn't mean to advertise. They don't need help from me. That would be your favorite gadget, or vacation, or Christmas. So you see why it's important to really be informed and talk with a professional such as Jessica. Jessica, what is a for those people that want to take advantage of your knowledge and want to get information on this life insurance products and services that it's like a big mystery, big mystery, because people, when they think about life insurance, think, oh my God, I got to die, otherwise I won't make any money. And that's just totally misinformation. Unfortunately, we don't do anymore like I did in my days, door to door, collecting insurance premiums and educating, like they do now for the COVID vaccines. The health departments in Missouri went door to door, and now they have one of the highest vaccination rates in the country because they went to the public, they went to the grassroots and educated them. Jessica, how can they get hold of you for those people that want little information on this mystery called life insurance?
I like the way you quote it. Well, they can call me directly at 702-881-8511. That's 702-881-8511. They can also email me at jmessley, which is JMESSLEY at familycomesfirst.us. Just the way it sounds. So it's jmessley, MESSLEY at familycomesfirst.us.
And are you on social sites? Because nowadays, Facebook, Google, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. I had to adapt, even though I'm a baby boomer. I had to adapt to the new. You got to know technology from the millennials. So how do they find you in social media?
Oh, believe it or not, I don't do social media, but I will. I think it's very important to reach out our consumers, clients, or just to advise each other what the market's at and what we're doing. I love doing a lot of networking, and I work a lot with the community of Las Vegas. We're like a basket of organization that we give back to the community and help those families in need, and just educational wise. So I don't do social media very much. So
I'm too busy helping people that go to your office, and you're doing insurance reviews, financial reviews. I got it.
Yeah, I do a lot of networking, one-on-one, lots.
It could be a double-edged sword, social media. I understand. You'd rather be working and helping than socializing. I got you. No, I mean, without offending the social media people. But beyond your profession, Jessica, you also have a passion for helping the community. Tell our audience now, this, for those that are just tuning on this program on YouTube, on the World Business Society channel, we're broadcasting all over the world, from Las Vegas to the whole world. We have an audience all over the world. Jessica, besides being an insurance broker, what are some of the community service work that you're involved in? Because I know before the program, we were chatting a little bit about getting some bio information from you. And then you mentioned you have some passion in being involved with the community as well. So what are some of the things that you're doing for the community that our viewers might say, wow, I didn't think an insurance broker got involved in helping anybody but selling insurance?
Well, you know what? I'm involved with Basket of Hope. It's an organization that we give back to the community. Say for Thanksgiving, what we do, we gather a Thanksgiving meal and we actually deliver it personally to them. And the next door neighbor comes out and says, I need a Thanksgiving dinner. And you see these children, it's really hard to grasp that there's so many families that need a meal. And when it was introduced to me 7 years ago, the director and co-founder, Mr. Sean Fanchet, and he said to me, this is what I do. And I said, how can I be involved? So I started talking to different business owners and I said, let's make a difference. My thing is, let's put a smile of hope in this children's heart and this family's homes, because we're privileged to take a bite of a turkey meal. Thankfully, we have filtered water. We have a gallon of milk. These children don't have that opportunity. So we knock at doors, and us as business owners, we have the ability. My $100 goes long ways. Your $100 goes long ways. $50. So if anybody, if you are needed of any assistance to the holidays, you don't have a toy for your child, and you obviously are local in Las Vegas because we can personally talk to you and take it to you, please contact me. You heard my contact information, 702-881-8511. You can also email me. Let me know your hardship. Let me know, and I will personally, with the director, we'll go to you. You'll meet us. And if you have a family that you just pass it on and you're grateful, you know, we're all in it together. And I think that if we unite to help these families, to help these children, let's do it. Let's make a difference and give that hope that we all have different hopes. We have different goals, but their hope and is to have a meal again. So that's what we do with Basket of Hope.
Let me have your phone number again. Through the magic of technology, like one of these big magicians in the casinos, I'm gonna make sure that your screen name appears with your phone number. What is your phone number?
702-881-8511.
881. It's been so many years since I took speed typing in high school back in those days. There was no internet. 881, and what else?
So 702-881-8511.
8511.
Yes.
Let me see. Open Sesame. There you go, by the magic of technology. Hey, baby boomers, if I can learn how to do it, you can learn how to do it too.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, let me take care of mine as well. El querer es poder. Wanted to do it is power. So
yes.
There you go. I'm showing everybody that I talk my walk and I walk my talk, like my favorite writer, Anthony Robbins.
Yeah. Jimmy, if I can share something with you.
Absolutely. Please do it while I put a little bit more magic here on my screen. Go ahead.
You know, you mentioned something earlier. We don't want to discuss about losing a loved one. We don't, right? It's very painful. And in my 20s, I remember when I was interested and I really wanted to become an insurance broker, but I didn't want to think about death. I didn't want to think about losing my mother, my father, a loved one. Never. I felt the pain. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to do it. But when I experienced the death of my father, it came reality. And it hit me so hard that I said, if I have a family that tells me, I don't want to think about it. It hurts. Trust me, I know, because it hurt me when I was in my 20s. When I didn't want to mention it. Now, guess what? It's still difficult. It's still hard. But because I already felt the pain of losing my father, I can talk to you about it because it is reality. You know, we're completely strangers. I even told you this yesterday. You and I, everybody who's listening to us, we are strangers from, we share nothing, but we share one thing. The fear and the pain that we're going to share when we lose that loved one. Because you can call me later, 10 years from now, whatever it is, and say, I feel what you felt. And it's this, if it's a different type of level of pain, it's still pain. So anybody who has questions, please don't be pushed away because of that pain or that fear. Focus on how we can have a peace of mind and how I can advise you. Maybe I won't be your agent. Maybe there's somebody else that you feel that connection with, that you can trust and build a relationship. Because you come to me, from the moment I talk to you, I'll work with you one-on-one and make sure that you understand what we're doing for your needs, what we're going to go with it, and what is the purpose. So I start asking questions. I start searching. Whatever makes you comfortable, do it. But do it sooner than later, because you don't want to say, why didn't I do it before? Because I experienced it, you will experience it, or somebody you know has experienced it. And we have what we went through the pandemic. We lost all of those people. I didn't know any of them. I met you, and you lost your brother through that. And it hurts me because I just cried when I saw the numbers. Like, we're losing our people. Our people are dying every day. Fathers, uncles, grandpas. It hurts, even though I didn't know them. But we're all human. And if you have a heart, you have a soul, that complete stranger means something, because we feel that pain and fear of losing a loved one.
And it's unbearable, and it's amazing, Jessica. Me and you are people that deal with numbers every day, but also we just like everybody else, we have to get dressed, work, earn a living to go through the survival task that we have, as long as there's a human race in life. Yeah. And here's some amazing statistics. If somebody doesn't do anything, about 10 out of 100,000 might get this virus, and they may or may not make it. If you get informed and you take the proper precautions, my goodness, we take Tylenol when we get a cold, and yet we get this virus that happens once every 100 years in the history of mankind, and we're not able to take the time to protect our lives. So, and that's called a mask. So even at the very least, if you take precaution, follow the experts' advice, and not the next door neighbors that they might be experts in something else, maybe the stock market, mechanics, whatever, but not medicine. The thing is, if you do the proper protection, you get the proper vaccines, only 3 out of 100,000 will still get it, but they may not go to another world, another galaxy. They don't need to, and leave the loved ones heartbroken for the rest of their lives. It's amazing the lack of information, whether it's in insurance, in health, in finances. It's crazy. It's crazy. I wish I had a mentor, a coach, as a banker, as a consumer. One of the things that I wish somebody would have coached me is that I was lucky enough to pay 4 new cars. I wish there was a money coach that would say, Jimmy, think about time and money and your really wants and needs. Had I took different choices, maybe pay cash for my car, maybe not brand new that loses 5,000 when you take it out of the dealership right away, or because of the interest, you end up paying almost another car. What if I taken that half, pay cash 5,000, 10,000 for a car, I saved it, invest the rest in either in several things, several baskets: insurance, the stock market, a house, a business, and education, I would be retired by now. But nobody, back in those days, only rich people had access to what me and Jessica are talking right now. That's what I do, Capuccino Financiero, because nobody explained to me the value of time, money, wants, and needs, much less budgeting, savings, and knowing where to invest. Either the system is going to help you make money or it's going to take you money. That's why it's important to have somebody that knows what they're talking about. So you don't have to work till you're 69, 70, or 80. And by the time you retire, you don't have, there's another pandemic, Lord forbid, or you're gone. You won't be able to enjoy life. So that's why it's very important to get nowadays, that's fashionable, a money coach, an insurance person, a competent banker, a competent professional. Now, Jessica, I'm going to use a little bit more, sprinkle a little bit of my magic, and let's put your email address for those of people that are watching us right now and they want to get hold of you. What is your email address?
It's JMESSLEY
MESSLEY
at
at
just the way it sounds. Family comes first.
small letters
Yeah, all together. Just family comes first.
.com or just family comes first?
.us.
.us?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's see if my little potion works. They're dealing with a pandemic like that when they listen to opinions instead of the experts.
You know, one of the things, there he goes.
You see, folks, find out on your own from people that can show you things work, not kill you, work. Protection, prevention, action.
Exactly.
You lose
That's
a loved one
it.
for that. Well, you know, it's time to do my community information service. Hold on tight. I'm going to share my screen and let's see if it's going to work. Let me take a look. Looks like yes. Let's see. Looks like, let's see. Yes. Can you see the screen, Jessica?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. For those people that are watching us right now, this is Jimmy Guerrero, Capuccino Financiero. We're a peer-to-peer group from World Business Society, from Las Vegas to the rest of the world. We do it in English, we do it in Spanish. We want to reach all the communities just to share our hard-earned knowledge to the average consumer, to take the mystery out of finances, insurance, and many more. A lot of people have been affected by this situation that we're having right now. And maybe they lost their job, they lost a loved one, they're unable to make their mortgage payments. Let me give you some consumer information that comes from us from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So in English, let's listen to it.
If you are experiencing difficulty making on-time mortgage payments due to the national coronavirus emergency, forbearance may be an option for you. Forbearance can help consumers get back on their feet during short-term financial difficulty. But there are a few things you need to know and some important decisions you'll need to make. Forbearance is when your mortgage servicer, that's the company that sends your mortgage statement and manages your loan, or lender, allows you to pause or reduce your payments for a limited period of time. Forbearance does not erase what you owe. You will have to repay any missed or reduced payments in the future. So, if you are able to keep up with your payments, keep making them. The types of forbearance available vary by loan type. If your mortgage is backed by the federal government, this includes FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac loans. Provisions of the recently enacted CARES Act allow you to temporarily suspend payments if you are experiencing financial difficulty due to the impact of the coronavirus on your finances. Loan servicers may also have forbearance or deferment options for non-government backed or private loans, but the exact options available to you may differ. Here's how this works for federally backed mortgages under the CARES Act. If you are experiencing financial hardship due to the coronavirus pandemic, you have a right to request forbearance for up to 180 days. You also have the right to request an extension for up to an additional 180 days. But you must contact your loan servicer to request this forbearance. There won't be any additional fees, penalties, or interest added to your account, but your regular interest will still accrue. Other than telling your servicer that you have a pandemic-related financial hardship, you won't need to submit additional documentation to qualify for this forbearance. It's important to find out what options are available to you. The best place to find that information is from your loan servicer. Look for their contact info on your monthly mortgage statement. Right now, most financial institutions, including mortgage servicers, are experiencing high call volumes, so there may be long wait times to talk to someone on the phone. Regardless of the type of mortgage you have or how you communicate with your servicer, here are some things to consider. If you cannot make your mortgage payments and you are looking to suspend or reduce your payments, you will need to work with your servicer. If you decide to move forward with a forbearance plan, ask your servicer how you will be required to pay back the amount owed after the forbearance period. Will you owe the entire unpaid amount in a lump sum once the pause period has ended or at the end of the loan term? Can the loan term be extended so that missed payments are added to the end of your mortgage? Will your subsequent monthly payments be higher for a period of time to make up the deferred amount? Finally, be on the lookout for scams and scammers looking to take advantage of consumers affected by coronavirus. You might receive fraudulent calls, emails, text messages, or other offers to help you reduce or stop your mortgage payments. Make sure you are working directly with your mortgage servicer. For more in-depth information, including information on how to find a HUD-approved housing counselor, go to consumerfinance.gov/coronavirus.
Well, I hope the information was able to be heard and seen. And let me tell you, folks, those of you who are homeowners, nobody is gonna take care of your finances, of your insurance needs, of the greatest asset that you purchase in your life, such as your home, except you. Money has to circulate. And you don't have to be a political science major with a minor in economics like me, in the USA, not in the USA, to understand the value of time and money. Knowledge is power, folks. Call your loan servicer. Did you know that by just writing a letter with these words, with these sentences, because I had to learn to speak in complete sentences to be able to have you understand me. Yo no hablaba inglés para nada. So I would like to keep my home. You sign it, you put your information, you email it, you fax it, you mail it. Did you know that could stop your foreclosure proceedings? Yes, you have protections. But if you listen to those folks that have an interest in doing things to your home, either selling it or financing it or what may be, keep that as a last resort. Go to the people that can help you 100% without a lot of time, effort, and money, which is your loan servicer. The law, consumer laws are here to protect you from losing your biggest asset. Please, please, whatever you do, do that. Now, once again, this is Jimmy Guerrero with Capuccino Financiero. On Saturdays from 9 to 10, from Las Vegas to the whole world. This week, I had the pleasure of talking with Jessica Mesley, an insurance broker, somebody that has a calling that she's not going to bring your loved one to life, regardless of whatever happened, that the family member went to a better world. But it's so helpful to know that the kids' college education is still in effect, that there's still going to be a roof and food available to your family, not to mention a nice place for your loved one to rest and to be remembered and to be visited. Nobody's going to do it for you. Not the government, not your next door neighbor, not the GoFundMe account. You have more power than you think.
Yeah.
As a consumer, as a family member, as a person. You live in the greatest country humanity has ever seen, with so much knowledge, and yet so many forces wanting to get your money. And if you know what you're doing, you're gonna retire with $400 in the bank, even though you made $1 million, baby boomers, in your lifetime. Millennials to 3 million. Get a reputable money coach, insurance person, your favorite banker. Get somebody that's in the business. Now what you hear on the internet, what you see in the internet, those email scams, those text messages scams, always look for credentials, education, experience, customer reviews on Google, on those experts that wanted to help you. Go to the big institutions and talk to those money coaches. Get hold of somebody that's in the business and have the proper credentials and they're properly regulated. Because your money, your time, only you can control it and nobody else. So this is Jimmy Guerrero, Capuccino Financiero. My phone number is 805-216-1542. My email address, by the magic of technology, you can see here through Zoom, guerrero771@gmail.com. You can also find me on social media under Sid Valiant with 1 T or 2 T's. You can find me on Instagram under Sid Valiant as well. And I'm here in the city of Las Vegas to the whole world to help in English and Spanish. 20 years of banking, insurance, investment, educational, retail management, and many more experience at your service. We have Jessica here, somebody that has been touched personally by this unfortunate adverse health situations that the whole world is experiencing. Did you know that if you drink a cup of coffee at home, at the end of the year, if you go 5 times a week, you might save between $1,000 to $2,000. There is your protection for your family and many other things. Not to mention, if your spouse, girlfriend, or significant other family member also does the same thing, that's between $2,000 and $4,000, maybe $5,000 a year, because you got to add the croissant, this, da. In 3 years, you could have $15,000 saved for your first home buyers program. Banks even give you between 10, 20, 30,000 to incentivize you, to motivate you to buy your first home if you're a first-time home buyer. Where's that money going? I'm not saying you should become a monk and now don't go get your coffee in XYZ favorite place. But remember, time and money is power over time. In 3 years, you could have the down payment for a house, the down payment for a big down payment for a new car, maybe an education. Maybe you need to recertify. Maybe you need to get a new laptop, a new iPhone, because you already have the products and services that you're going to market and you can make money. Think in terms of what you need, what you want, and what's going to make you money or not money. No need to have 10, 20 credit cards. Why? Did you know if you make the minimum payment on a $15,000 credit card, 10,000, 5,000, in 3 years, you'll have them double at 21% a year if you just make the minimum payment. You want to make payment for somebody else? You want to make money for somebody else, or do you want to make money for yourself? Millennials, did you know if you're 30 years old and you invest in the stock market, $250 a month, $250, $300 a month. By the age you're 60, you'll have your $1 million just by living alone in the stock market. But don't forget your insurance, just in case. Don't forget that, because you still have family to protect. You still love somebody. You still want to make sure that they throw a big party when you leave this world. And somebody's going to have to give that money for that, for the big getaway party, memorial ceremony for you. Get hold of a money coach. Get hold of an experienced financial advisor, financial coach, insurance person. Talk to your favorite banker if they have time for you. Nowadays, if you don't have 100,000, they may not have time for you. You have to call a 1-800 number. Things have changed in banking as well. But there's people such as Jessica available. You need to have $100,000 to make an appointment with Jessica. Any questions you have, banking, insurance, investments, education. Jimmy Guerrero, 805-216-1542, Guerrero771@hotmail.com. Please be safe for the holidays. Jessica, I hope this is not the last time that you're in Capuccino Financiero. If you have any friends, other people, peers in the profession that want to participate, let me know. Because this program is for the community. There's a community service program designed to take the mystery, the mask, the magic out of finances and bring it in plain English so people can understand and make better money management decisions that's going to better their lives and give them a better future, hopefully for them and their family. So I hope that we can have you again in Capuccino Financiero.
Well, I definitely would love to be back. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. And I had a wonderful time. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, any advice that you would like from me, please, there's my contact information. Give me a call, email me. I'm here for you. And let's get this rolling. Let's protect our families, get our children's college education ready. That's our future. So let's make things right. Let's make the right choice. Because remember, family comes first.
Jessica M., insurance broker, 702-881-8511. JMESSLEY at familycomefirst.us. You don't need to be a rich person, a millionaire, or $100,000 to get help. Yes. No matter what your budget is, Jessica is there to help you protect the financial situation of you, your family, and all the big plans and dreams that you have over time. 1 day, 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, 1 month, 3 years, 5 years, the rest of your life. Success is in your hands. Make sure you give Jessica a call.
Thank you. And everybody stay safe. God bless. And we'll see you next time.
Please, please, please remember this. If you don't take your health into your own hands and get your own information, 3 things are going to happen to you. You're going to leave us. You're going to stay. There might be some little things later on after that. Or maybe nothing. But why gamble? Leave that to the casinos. Yeah. Take the appropriate, smart decisions for you. If you want to be 100% sure that you want to be protected, just get vaccinated. It's free. In other countries, they're waiting to get the vaccines. Here we have it free, available in every corner. Go to your local pharmacy, health department. You don't have to pay for it. And keep enjoying many, many more Christmas and New Year's in this planet Earth.
Yes.
God bless you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everybody. Stay safe. God bless.
God bless.